Let's talk about one of the most iconic Italian dishes that wasn't born in Italy. Let's talk about the history of spaghetti and meatballs. So before anybody hits the comments with, wait a minute, pasta's totally Italian and meatballs. Great, nobody's denying that. But the dish together was born, well, we'll get to it. But pasta was typically a meal served on its own, and meatballs, certainly not of this size. Typically, they're called polpette and they're much, much smaller, but they were never put on top of the pasta. They were always, gotta keep them separated. Anybody remember that song? So many of these ideas of dishes and components were already in full effect in Italy, but it really wasn't until between 1880 and 1920 when almost 4 million Italian immigrants came into America that you started seeing this. Now, in Italy, meat was very expensive. That was a luxury, but in America, totally different landscape, so it was much more affordable. So you could buy lots of this ground meat, no probs. You could make meatballs the size of your head in abundance, and also making tomato sauce. I mean, if you like talk to a classic Nona, she's like, I would never with a canned tomato whatever situation, maybe, but for a lot of people it was very, very accessible and very cheap. And then pasta manufacturing as well was also very widely available, so you could get, the dry nudes and put that into the pot, get that going, half the time of your tomato sauce with the accompaniment of some canned tomatoes, and then just get these bad boys going as well. And you could have a very inexpensive and filling, abundant meal in also the fraction of the time. A large influx of Italian immigrants, big cities like New York and Chicago, just to name a couple, you started to also see these restaurants pop up known as red sauce joints, and you would start to see some of these dishes that we now know, these classic Italian American dishes like this, all served in abundance, in family style. You've got the quintessential red and white checkered tablecloth. You've got the Chianti in one of those straw wrapped bottles. It probably has a fancy name that I don't know about. Let me know if you know. And one of the first recipes appears in a book in 1888. Juliet Corson's Family Living on $500 a Year. Different time. That was a recipe that it was there, pasta, meatballs together. So the union of the three, again, separately, totally a thing. Other places and whatnot, but all together, Italian Americans. And if you want to learn more about the history of meatballs and spaghetti, you can watch this episode on YouTube at the I Am Sprung channel, or available wherever you get your podcasts. Just search for Sprung on Food.